Came across an article to the effect of "Is cold calling dead?" and I had to laugh, and so I kind of felt inspired to post a video on this topic, right? So, a couple thoughts. You know, the first one of the things I agree with a lot of points on these articles coming about how social selling is going to replace cold calling. That fundamentally sales has transitioned to being based a lot more on trust and upon understanding of the other person's situation, things like that. Couldn't agree more. I think cold calling gets a bad rap because so many people do it so wrong. One of the articles I read recently said cold calling is about persuasion and influence. And actually it's not. It's about initiating a relationship, right? I mean, the cold call, you're reaching out to a person to initiate a relationship that's then somehow going to go through a process to turn into a sale. And it really has the same fundamental objective as social media. It's all about creating trust, creating credibility, creating a connection. And the thing I think we have to look at before we compare cold calling to social media is what is the desired outcome? What is the goal of these two activities that forces us to compare them? It's not a sale. The goal of both activities is a relationship. And fundamentally, the one measurable metric that we want to find out of this is what we're going to call the first meeting. The first time you and a prospective prospect get on the phone or in person for a scheduled meeting and you have a great conversation. So if that is the milestone we're trying to reach, the debate becomes how can you create the most first meetings with people that you don't know that meet some target demographic of the market you serve? And how do you create them the quickest, right? And so my thought on this is there's nothing more direct or quick than to pick up the phone and propose a conversation with a person that then allows you to get on the phone and connect. And certainly there's a lot of rejection in this, but one of the things we want to address is this idea that cold calling is about bothering people at dinner at night. It's not. It's really about making a connection with a person in a market that you serve with problems you understand because that's your job, and helping them, understand the resources and things available to them in the world through that connection, right? Another point that was made in this article is that the majority of buyers and sellers don't want to have a phone conversation, right? And I fundamentally disagree with this. I think the majority of buyers and sellers don't want to have a crappy phone conversation. And that's why they will defer everybody out to the social sphere and qualify and filter people until they find people with whom it's worth having a good conversation. I would suggest that most of the reason cold calling is not working or is on its way to extinction is because we're doing it wrong. The thing we want to focus on is, I'll have to pull out a quote from Jim Rohn, don't wish it were easier, wish that you were better at it.